All right, guys, so welcome. I am going to pin myself so that we can get started. You guys know I've done a video like this before about vendor booths, and I just did my one that I do every year. I love it, love it, love it so much. And built my entire business doing booths all over the state of Georgia. And you know what? 23 years later, I have consultants in 16 states. Um, and just, you know what? I'm living proof that this works. So I'm going to kind of go through some of my do's and don'ts and even some of the new things that I've added from my new booth that I just did yesterday. Okay, because the times are changing and sometimes you just kind of step back and punt sometimes and try some new things. All right. So built my entire business on this type of lead generating activity. And in fact, most of you have come from your DNA is connected to me doing a booth at some point 23 years ago. Okay. In fact, um, and I'll say this probably again because it's in my notes. I don't always go in looking for a large number of leads. Sometimes I just need that one. And I remember the booth that I met Marianne at, I had a really strong working unit. I was there with my unit. I was just really wanting to get them some new leads and new names. And I thought, if somebody pops out, I'm gonna, if I can get one good one that, because I'm busy enough. And I remember seeing Marianne. She was pregnant, and she was a pregnant model at this baby expo. And she checked my boxes. I'd always wanted to build Warner Robins because I knew it was an Air Force base. And years prior, when I was in the mortgage industry, I worked up in Atlanta, but I was the VA specialist, and they would literally ship me all the VA loans to process. And so my heart was in Warner Robins. And getting into Mary Kay, I thought I knew like I had the biggest volume. I did the most loans because the turnover of soldiers coming in to the base and coming out, leaving. And I thought, I need to do Mary Kay in a military town because I can get consultants and they can go and just spread out their business all over the country. And so that was my mindset. So I just needed a really sharp cookie in a military town. And I knew Warner Robins. I'm like, okay, how am I going to meet a Warner Robins person? Well, here I am. I'm at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, historical Fox Theater, beautiful, at this baby expo. And there walks across a beautiful pregnant model. She's a school teacher, check. I had turned so many school teachers into directors. I'm like, check. And they said, she's from Warner Robins. I'm like, and I literally stalked her all over that. And she was so sharp. And I was like, still as a sales director, I think I was a pink Cadillac sales director already. Um, I was like so intimidated by her that I got my chatty Cathy consultant, and her name was Tiffany. And I said, Tiffany would talk to a brick wall. And I said, Tiffany, I need you to take your clipboard because we would do like a surge. We would do hourly giveaways. And like 15 minutes before the hour, we would go around with our clipboards to do a mass, hauling in the names. And I said, I need you to go and get that pregnant model to register for me and give me the name. And she did. And I had Marianne's name. Well, I made Marianne win the hourly drawing so that I hoped she would come over to my table. She sent Chris, and I'm like, ah. So then I put her name in my pocket, and then I called her for the grand prize drawing. And she had to, I think, cancel 3 times with me because they were having Chris's dad was sick and they had to go to Ohio. And I mean, but I kept rebooking her and rebooking her. And here we are. Marianne is just amazing and car driver, director for many years. So that one lead, you guys, that one lead can turn into building an area in 2 states, amazing customer base. And so, and of course, she's one of my dearest friends, and I love doing life with her. So sometimes when you go to booths, you don't always get 1,000 names, or you never get 1,000 names. But when we see the big baby expo at the Cobb Galleria, we would literally, it would be like 2 days, and there would be 20,000 people to come through. We would get 800 names, but it was $800 to do that booth, and we would all pay, excuse me, $100, and we would all get about 100 names or whatever, or 80 names. And so that was totally worth it, like $1 a name. But um, so the booth I did yesterday, my goal was to get 25 quality names, because I feel like with my busy schedule, with the unit I have, I could do some amazing things with 25 quality names. And so here's what I did. So if someone of course they come up to your table, you're gonna just being out there and being present in front of people with your brand, your table. You guys saw pictures of my table. People are always wanting my business card. Well, instead of just handing out business cards, I have a virtual business card now. And I tell them, well, if you will just put your name and number here, I will text you my virtual business card. And I'm also going to register you for the drawing just for fun. And so they go ahead and put their name. If they're questionable, I let them go ahead and fill out their name and address, okay? So that I can Google that address and see if it's an area that I would want to go to, okay? Because this is local to me. I can have people come to my home, into my studio. If I was out of town where they're not going to drive 45 minutes to my studio, I always make sure that I am keeping myself safe, okay? And so I have them fill out the card, and then I text them my virtual uh, business card. But now I control that lead, okay? I can control that lead. I can make first point of contact, second point of contact, third point of contact, until they just say I'm not interested. They ever say I'm not interested. But remember, they came to me wanting my business card. Another thing that I did yesterday, I had some old books, and I thought, I'm going to just get rid of some of these and see if it generates anything from my website or whatever. I also started, if you'll go on to section 2, there's the little hand creams. You get 12 little mini hand creams for $8. I had 2 packs of those, and I had normally been doing, I had a customer who is the head over all the bus drivers in Coweta County, and they were doing some little gift bags beginning of the school year for the bus drivers. And she asked me if I had something. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got some little hand creams. Well, I had some little circled QR codes that someone had printed for me on like stickies, and I had put those on the little hand creams. And so they could just scan the hand creams because I wasn't going to be present with the bus drivers, and they can just scan that QR code. It goes directly to my website. Okay. And so I love the hand cream marketing like that with the QR codes. The lady couldn't get my QR codes yesterday, but I still did the hand creams. And I felt like that generated, it gave me, so it was more for me to be able to talk, because I still have a little bit of shyness in me, especially in my county, because I lived here, I grew up here. And you guys know I do still have some issues with being a child of a mother that was an alcoholic. And so that scar is always going to be there. I felt like when I started my Mary Kay business, that's why I felt so comfortable in other towns. I could be who I wanted to be, and nobody knew the shame that I still carried by having a mother that was an alcoholic. And so, even though I still live in my town, I struggle a little bit with that. And so I still get a little bit of anxiety doing events in my town. And I'm, 23 years uh, in Mary Kay, and it's a lot better now. I'm a lot more confident. But those little hand creams gave me a superpower to talk to the sharp women that may have said, "Oh gosh, she's." You get it. You're in sales. You guys know we get intimidated by sharp professional women. The truth is, these sharp professional women are the ones that take care of themselves, and they're the ones that are going to buy your product. Okay. It's the people that came out um, not caring how they look. Those are the ones that we tend to want to talk to first. But I'm just going to be very honest with you. They don't want to be fixed. They don't want to come out looking like $1 million, or they would have. They don't care about their appearance. They don't, they're they don't care. And that was a lesson I had to learn very early on, was that you can't fix people. Okay. And you going after the people that you can fix, you lower the bar, your sales are not as high. You don't get the quality, sharp professional women that can take this business and run with it and turn it into $1 million dynasty. And so those little hand creams gave me a superpower to talk to more sharp professional women. So first sharp, young woman that came up to my table was a registered nurse at the children's hospital. And, you know, she signed up and she said, she circled that she was interested in this opportunity. She needed a side hustle. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I say. She needed a side hustle. And, the little hand creams work. And you just have to, you just say, hey, would you register? Would you like to register for a giveaway? You don't have to be here to win. I will text you if you're the winner, and you get a free hand cream. And everybody loved the free hand cream. All right. So get those little minis. I mean, gosh, $8 for 12. You guys do the math. It was totally worth it. One good appointment is going to pay you back. Okay. You also need to feel the crowd and be ready to change on a dime. So last year, I had skipped that event for 2 years because of we had, oh gosh, I can't remember what was going on, but I had to get other consultants to do that booth for me. I think we had basketball or we had football I know what it was. My son Hudson had an all-star game, okay, or something like that, all-star football. And so I didn't get to do the event, and I had some consultants do it. Well, between COVID and skipping that event, they didn't have the event during COVID. There was a shift in dynamics with young tween and teen girls because of, I guess, TikTok. They had really like, wow, they wanted skincare. And my table was being flooded with tweens just wanting skincare. And the moms would come up and say they're asking for skincare for Christmas. And I'm like, wow, it gave me hope because, because that's our next generation. Like that's going to put money in our pocket all the way through till, we all retire, is these 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, they're wanting skincare. You guys know skincare is our bread and butter. And so when I say you need to spend on a dime, that particular day, I'm like, okay, changing this to mother-daughter multi-masking experience. So I changed my whole register for mother-daughter multi-masking experience instead of register for a makeover, register for a spa experience. It became mother-daughter. And so last year I booked a lot of mother-daughters. Now this year I did not have as many little girls come by my table, but I had a lot of, I would say Gen Zs and Gen X looking for, I had, out of the 24 names that I got, my goal was 25. I would have had 25, but I was telling Dia, I was getting hungry and I'm texting my husband, like, I want hot wings. And he's like, well, try to find some hot wings locally down, where you are. And I'm like, and so I was really rushing so I could get out of there. I could have got one more name. Um, but I'm like, I need hot wings. So I got 24 names. But out of the 24 names, five circled that they were interested in a side hustle. And so that has not happened in a while. That right off the bat, now I have a lead that I'm going to share this opportunity with instead of layering. And so being able to change on a dime, being able to read the crowd, understand who's there, what your demographics are, and be present to the moment. Okay, you guys know that's my famous word. That's what I'm gonna name my beach house, is present to the moment. So feel the crowd, be ready to change on the dime. Make sure your registration cards have. Um, have you ever thought about a side hustle? Or are you interested in, starting your own Mary Kay business or what? I can tell you verbatim what the bottom of my sheet says. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I forgot that it was on there because this is, right now I just do this one booth a year. And I don't remember who gave me this sheet. Might have been Mary Ann, because I ran out of my old sheets and had to make copies. And they were circling things. I'm like, she just circled. She's interested in the opportunity. So, it was a nice surprise. Anyway, all right. So make sure your table is inviting. I do use my basic base decor, but every now and then I'll change it up. So you guys, I've been using the white and silver for a while. You can go back on Boxer and you can see my table. And then the bubbles are a big hit every year. So they're just little iridescent plastic, non-breakable Christmas tree ornaments. But because they're iridescent, they look like little bubbles. And I've got them in different sizes. So go back and really hone in on my table. And I have three, it looks like little bathtubs with bubbles overflowing. And that actually last year, it brought the little girls to my table. And, everybody just come and they just want to touch it. So they come near you, you can speak. I even kind of matched my table this year. I had a white jacket and a silver sequin top underneath. But make sure that you are looking like $1,000,000. If you want to attract the $1,000,000 cookie, then you need to look like $1,000,000, because the way you feel is going to help you to be able to talk with confidence to the right people. Okay. I don't stop everyone. Okay. Make sure that I just said that. Make sure you look like $1,000,000 and that you have confidence to talk to the sharp women. So I don't talk to everyone because not everyone wants what I have. And if you were on the Zoom before I started the recording, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I protect my time, protect myself. And I just kind of I look for women that I think, I approach women and stop women that I think would be my next sales director, because I'm looking for my next leader. And if I keep that standard, then I'm going to, whether they sell Mary Kay or not, there's that certain look and that I'm looking for. They're either going to be a great customer or they're going to be a really great consultant, because I've handpicked them, because I know how to look for, I know how to spot a director a mile away. I just do. I can spot them. And so you call your names, the names that you get, you call them immediately. They will get cold really, really quickly. Okay. Fight for the quality of name, not the quantity. Like I mentioned before, I set a goal to have 25 names this last time. I've told you Mary Ann's story. Sometimes it just takes one name to find the right person that can just really swell your unit, swell your team, your car team. Um, you know, so just so I never get down if I got three great names. I never get down if I got one great name. I always know that God goes before me because I pray over that event for weeks. Okay. God, please put the right people. And so I'm putting a gift in front of them. If they open it, then I've done my job. If they don't, then you know what? I still did my job. They didn't open the gift, but I knew that they came into my space for a reason. And I did my job. And then you can move on. You know, if there's a famous quote by Vince Lombardi, it said, every athlete's or every man's finest hour is the moment that he lies in the middle of the field, basically after finishing a game, exhausted but victorious because he left it on the field. And that's not exactly how the whole quote goes, but I left it on the field. I left everything I had at that booth, and I talked to the people that I knew I needed to talk to. And I know I planted those seeds. And now, so I've already texted them all today. And I know that now God is going to take the work that I did and he's going to water it and cultivate it. Okay. But still, on the other end, he has to prepare their hearts to receive what I'm offering. Okay. But I've done my job and I can leave without any, did I do this wrong? Did I do that right? Then I say next and move on. Okay. All right. So, get out there with your face and your products. People are looking for Mary Kay. So out of the 24 names, I think 4 people came by and said, I need a new consultant and I need product right now. And, for whatever reason, they don't have it, their consultant. And so I've already called them. I mean, this product is, my husband's always said this. He said, no matter what your team does, you still have this product that everybody wants. And it's the best product in the world. And you make 50% of what you sell. And he said, you can make a living just selling this product. So you don't ever have to stress over what your team is doing or what they're not doing, but you have that power. And when you have that power, you're empowered, okay? Because a lot of people think that their team is controlling them and not the other way around. Never give your power away. You are the hardest worker on your team. I'm the hardest worker on our team. When you're building your team, you be the hardest worker, and you will never have to worry about that stress of worrying what your team is doing, because everything's going to happen organically. Mary Kay is famous for saying, speed of the leader is the speed of the game. And that's what makes a great sales director. Okay. So with that being said, getting your face out there, getting your product out there and your brand, because people are looking for this product, because there's not a lot of hard workers anymore. And you have to be the difference. You have to be the change. And if you show them this is how you're supposed to work this business, they will be loyal to you. The biggest compliment they can give you is to invite you into their home and introduce you to their family and friends. And that's what our business is based on, is that referral business. Okay. And then lastly, attach your business card to every text that you send out so that they know you're a real person. Never send a text anymore without your virtual business card attached. You can make your virtual business card from Pick Collage. You can change the layout. I'll send you what mine looks like, because there's so many different scams out there, AI scams, tech scams. They saw you at the table. They need to see your picture on that virtual card. They'll make the connection, remind them where you met them from. I'll tell you Um, Hold on, I'm going to tell you what my script says, okay, just so that we have it on the recording. So this is my script. Kelly, congratulations. You were one of my drawing prize winners of a free Mary Kay gift certificate and spa experience at the Coweta Christmas. Let me know when a good time to call so I can go over your prize and multi-spa experience. And then you can see it's got my virtual business card, my picture, okay? And that's first point of contact. So out of the 24 that I called today, I already have 2 appointments this week, one appointment next Monday, one appointment on the 1st, and then at 1st of December. And then I've got to call one back on the 18th when she comes back into town. So that's first point of contact. The ones that haven't replied yet, I will do second point of contact probably in a few days, and it'll say something like, "Hey, wasn't sure if you got my text. You're one of my winners. Let me know when we can chat." That's second point of contact. 80% of all bookings come from the fourth and fifth point of contact. Okay. So unless they text and say, "I'm not interested," I will go all the way through to the fourth and fifth point of contact. Okay. I will work those leads until they are cold, but you have to work it in that 2 week period. Okay. Plus, Thanksgiving's coming. Yes, Dia.
So when you do the vendor booth and then you get your 24 contacts or however many, do you offer that you use that script with each and every one of them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, so that when I'm texting, all I have to do is go in, change the first name, and then text the new number. Change the first name, text. So don't forget to change the first name because then
Yes.
you can.
That's very important.
Yes, made that mistake. And then, so I'm gonna stop the recording to say something else. So hang on with that thought, okay? Um, and I think I did cover everything. So I'm gonna stop the recording because I do want to share something really quickly.